Well, joining us from Canberra, Australia now is Amin Saikal, a Professor Emeritus of Middle Eastern Studies at the Australian National University. Really good to have you back with us, Professor. We know this ceasefire between Israel and Gaza is continuing to hold, although it remains quite precarious because the first phase of this deal is supposed to end on March the 1st. And as we understand it, negotiations for the second phase really haven't begun in earnest. What's your view in terms of this deal? Will we see the second stage of the agreement take place?
Well, the ceasefire is on shaky ground, but I expect the second phase to continue simply because it's in the interest of both sides, because Israel would like to secure the release of all the other hostages, and Hamas also would like to see the withdrawal of all Israeli forces from Gaza, as well as release of hundreds of more Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. So there is a sort of a common interest for the continuation of the second phase. But of course, things can unravel very quickly simply because that Prime Minister Netanyahu is still determined to wipe out Hamas, and he has already said that he has the full support of President Donald Trump on this issue.
Yes, of course, we know there are some extreme far-right elements within Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition who are opposed to this ceasefire and in fact want Israel to continue its attack on Gaza. In terms of how their views are being weighed here, do you believe that Netanyahu is prioritizing what they want over what the Israeli people want, and that is an end to the war and the release of all hostages?
Well, the former National Security Minister, Ben-Gvir, has already left the coalition, and that has not really resulted in the collapse of Netanyahu's government. So I think Netanyahu at the moment is treading a very tight rope, and he is trying to maintain his coalition on the one hand in terms of having a majority in the Knesset, and on the other, he still remains very much loyal to the extremists, which demand the elimination of Hamas. And I think Washington is very much behind him on this issue.
Yes, and we know Donald Trump has also floated quite a controversial notion of essentially emptying out Gaza of Palestinians, seizing the territory and rebuilding it. Surely those comments can't be helpful in terms of achieving a longer lasting peace in the enclave.
No, it certainly complicates the situation. And of course, Egypt and Jordan and the Arab League have totally rejected that proposal. But President Trump has doubled down on it. And of course, Prime Minister Netanyahu has supported it. But I think that will be something which will come up as a major issue, particularly if the second stage of the ceasefire is implemented. And it would be really the third stage when it comes to the reconstruction of Gaza, and whether then Israel will move in and clear out Hamas and therefore hand over Gaza to President Trump in order to implement his plan. But then on the other hand, then there will be considerable opposition, not only from the Arab countries, but also from the international community as a whole.
Okay, Professor Amin Saikal, we will have to leave it there, but it's great to get your thoughts as always. Thank you.